Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Food aid distribution to residents of recently liberated towns begins. This article is taken from Ethiopian Monitor. Food assistance has begun to reach people in need of aid in cities and towns recently liberated from TPLF occupation, as the government continues its humanitarian response in northern Ethiopia, according to the Prime Minister office. The National Defense Forces and allies have made considerable gains in reversing the occupation by TPLF of Amhara and Afar towns in the past few weeks. Most recently, the Allied forces managed to fully clear out TPLF group from the North Wallo zone, liberating its strategic capital, Wodia. And I looked at Wodia on the map, and it's right at the intersection of two MSRs, which are in military parlance main supply routes, which in civilian terms would be highways. It's right at the intersection. The main one going up to Mekelle, and then the other one going west. I don't know to what area, but it's at that intersection. So so it's a doubly important location. And in case you didn't know, the importance of main supply routes, or MSRs, in the military, it's if you control an MSR, you basically control what goes into an area or a city and what comes out of it. And not only that, but Wodia is not that far from Tigray region, which makes it very important as well. Quote, the aftermath of TPLF's occupation has been tremendous destruction of public and private infrastructure, unquote, said Belene Seyum, press secretary of the PM office. Speaking to reporters today, Belene said health infrastructures, academic institutions, including Wallo University, religious institutions, and cultural centers have been looted and severely destroyed by the TPLF. So it lets you know what their intentions were. They don't care about Ethiopia as a country. They only care about themselves. According to the PM office, the government is now distributing food assistance to the people affected by the conflict. Quote, following the recent military victories against TPLF, she said the government has distributed 1,316 quintals of food to Wodia, Kobo, and Mersa Waredas, or regions, in northern Wallo zone. And in case you didn't hear another or look at another video I put out about this area recently, this area is in the mountains. Additional 31,899 quintals of food were also distributed to Ataye, Afrata, Ansokiya, Shararobit, Mens Mama, Mens Gera Reredas, or regions in North Shua zone. In Afar, more than 1.3 million people need immediate emergency response as per recent data received from the National Disaster Risk Management Commission. It also said close to 400,000 are displaced from 21 Woredas in the same region due to TPLF's aggression. The government, together with partners, is helping in conflict-affected areas, said the PM office. So this is something that I don't see the Western media reporting. I only see the Western media reporting the hardships faced by the Tigrayan population because of the offensive of the national military, but I never hear any talk about the populations in Amhara and Afar being in dire straits because of the occupation of the TPLF. It also said close to 400,000 are displaced from 21 Waredas or regions in the same region due to TPLF. Wareta is not a region, I'm sorry, it's smaller than a region. I can't think of exactly what it is, but let's just call it an area. I think it's bigger than a town, though. I'm quite sure it's bigger than a town. Aggression. The government, together with partners, is helping in conflict-affected areas, said the PM office. With regard to Tigray, the office said the most recent update is that a total of 225 trucks have arrived into the region with humanitarian supplies. So the national government is helping the Tigrayan population with humanitarian aid. The trucks reached Mekelle with a total of 9,284 metric tons of food and non-food items, said the PM office. So that debunks the Tigray genocide, doesn't it? I also saw on German news, Deutsche Welle today, the first thing that was said was that, is the end of the war in sight? So it seems that the West has given up on interfering with this war. It also said, if I understood it correctly, my German is, I think, about 75% at best. If I understood it correctly, and some of my viewers might know a lot better than I do the situation on the ground, but that the Abiy's forces, the federal military, was helped with the drones of Turkey and China. I don't know if I understood it correctly, but that's what I heard. And if that's the case, I would imagine one of the main reasons for the casualties, that the large number of casualties among the TPLF would be perhaps because of these these armed drones. I would assume that they're armed. Perhaps they're not. Maybe they're just for reconnaissance purposes, to let troops know where the enemy is, and then they can go and conduct themselves accordingly. I don't know, but more information will come out about this, I'm sure.